Hello beautiful, welcome back to my channel and welcome to Samantha. I'm so excited.
We're here. We are
Viva Las Vegas.
Viva Las Vegas.
I am, well, you can tell, I'm not in my normal space and I'm not even on my normal camera. The only thing that's normal is me. Oh wow, that's pushing it. But we're just filming a video together because I'm visiting Samantha in Vegas and I'm just so excited. We're gonna do a Q&A.
Yes.
I've gotten some really juicy questions and I haven't even showed them to her.
Yes, so some of them she's like, well, I'll ask you that on camera.
I'm like, oh, this is a juicy one.
Okay, sure.
So we are gonna answer some questions and I'm just super excited. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe to Samantha as well. Everything will be down below, but let's get into it.
Oh, and Angie filmed this makeup look on me, and that will be on my YouTube channel if you want to check out how I got this very colorful look.
Because we did get a question here. It was like, have you been able to do a colorful look of Samantha yet? May I present to you?
Because I am always, not always, but most of the time, 95% of the time, I'm very more neutral, that sort of thing. So I wanted Angie to go full on color.
We are like each other's opposites because I usually go for colors, which I don't hate neutrals. I love neutrals on others, and sometimes I feel like doing a neutral look. And I think you're the opposite. You prefer neutrals, but sometimes you'll feel like a colorful look and you'll just do it.
Yeah, like I did a blue look the other day. My first look with the Natasha Denona pastel palette was all blue, and I was like, I'm funky today.
I'm feeling funky today. But we got a couple of questions of like how we met, and we got a question, were you friends before YouTube, and also have you gals met in person before? We were not friends before YouTube. We did meet on YouTube. We were speculating before, like I think it was like 2016,
I think. Yeah.
Because I was watching her videos first. And I started doing the Will I Buy It quite like,
I think you were like the first one.
Yeah. I think
that started doing the Will I Buy It after I created the series.
And I remember I mentioned like, oh, I got this video idea from Samantha March, and like that, and you commented on the videos.
Yeah. And I was saying, I had said when Angie was doing my makeup that it was so funny that I had someone comment to be like, this Swedish girl is doing your video idea, and I think she thought like she seemed kind of mad about it, and I was like, that's so cool, like someone's doing an idea that I just like randomly was like, I just want to sit and talk about makeup and not do an anti-haul style video, but I can't show the new makeup, I don't get PR, like I just want to sit and talk. And then I was like, someone thought that was such a good idea that they're doing it too, and I was like, hi, this is so neat.
And like, is that 6 years ago?
Yeah.
Wow. I love it. Oh wow, we've known each other for 6 years then.
Yeah.
That's crazy. We did meet once before in New York. We went for Ipsy. So that was the first time we met.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've been talking, and I also said like, it's been very easy for us to keep in touch over these years because we have grown at the same rate almost. Sometimes someone has been a little bit behind or before, but like I feel like we've had similar types of videos. We probably share a bit of audience and like have a similar numbers. So yeah, I mean, we've talked for a really long time.
Yeah, and we've gotten like some similar like opportunities too, like collabs that we've done, and we've been able to bounce off each other to say like we've both of us have seen our collabs early, and like gotten feedback for like what do you think about
the janky press samples?
You're like, look at this. Yes. You're like, look, and I'm like screenshotting my phone, like, and we've been able to like talk about just like the behind the scenes stuffs and just kind of help.
And like other stuff too, like just not makeup. I mean, and that's how you know that you're not just co-workers, that you're actually friends, that you can talk about other stuff. That are like other things. Because we have like more things in common than that. Because we did get a question. Let's get into the juicy questions right away. What did you learn from your divorce? Because both of us got divorced on YouTube, like on YouTube, but like we were doing YouTube when we got divorced. Yours was more recently than mine. If you didn't know that, I'm divorced. I was married to another man when I started YouTube, and I didn't talk about it at all. Like I waited so long, and I just casually mentioned it in some video, and I didn't talk about it at all. But I think also like I had already moved on at that point. Like it was so long after. And I would say the thing that I have learned from not just a divorce, but like it's like sometimes love isn't enough. It's not enough to fall in love with someone. Like that doesn't mean that you're gonna end up forever. There just can be so many other obstacles that you didn't just think of.
Agree. And I think I don't know, for me sometimes when it came to marriage, and we had a whole conversation last night about
you should have heard that. That was juicy.
That was juicy. That was very, I was like telling Andrew, and I was like, I will never say this publicly. Like that will never come out of my mouth publicly. But one thing that I learned, I feel like I stayed in my marriage longer than I should have, and because I looked at divorce as failure. And I think that it's kind of like built into us as a society. People look down on divorce. Like I get the comments of you gave up, you quit, all these things.
And people never know how long you tried.
No, and they never know what you tried
and why it ended.
And why it ended and what you were putting up with. Like people don't know that. And so especially being public and like having to go through it online, it was such a scary thing. And I, like for a while, I was like, I don't think I want to deal with comments and seeing that. Like I almost stayed, which is crazy to me when I think about it. Like I almost stayed because I was so afraid of what people would say about me and the opinions. Because a really hard part too, especially going through a divorce, is my mom sees those comments, my aunt sees those comments, my sister, my niece, my nephews, my friends,
my ex-husband.
Right. When you put something out online about someone and you think it's just funny and it's just in a Reddit thread, it's just in a comment, our loved ones see that. And you know, like I get so many messages from my mom and she's so mad. I just want to comment back. I'm like, Mom, you just gotta leave it alone. My sister gets so mad. I told my mom to
never read the comments.
Yeah. I'm like, just don't look at them. Like it is what it is. And I don't think people realize that we're real people.
Well, like that's a common thread.
We're real people going through
I
real
said that
things.
in a recent video. I think sometimes people forget that YouTube isn't a TV show. You can't be disappointed in the character development of your YouTuber. Like oh, I'm not taking suggestions here.
And we're doing it on, like, I don't know, it's just
that's the best we can. This was fun. Do you think you spent more or less money together at Sephora versus going alone? I say
same.
Yeah.
I say same. Because I bought exactly what I wanted to buy. There wasn't anything that I was like, oh, I'm just gonna.
I didn't buy exactly what I thought I was gonna buy because I haven't really shopped the sale yet because I'm not Rouge. But I bought a couple of things, but it's like, if I saw those and you weren't there, I would still bought them.
Yeah.
I don't like, I buy what I buy.
I bought the fragrance that you recommended, but I was planning to buy a fragrance. Yeah, I just didn't know which one.
Yeah, I just pointed you and said this is a favorite.
And I bought that one.
She bought Jazz Club.
I did.
So delicious.
I'm so excited. They didn't have it in store, so I ordered it online, but I'm really excited to get it.
Someone asked if we're gonna work out together. I feel very attacked.
Angie let me know. You're just not into it. It's not your vibe.
I like jogging, like running, but it hasn't really been it's not been easy where I've been living, not now, and not where I lived before either. So I don't think I've worked out a single time in the last 5 years. That's wild. And someone asked me about my diet, and I like eat candy food. I'm the worst. I'm the absolute worst. So don't ask me about anything like that because I have no tips.
I have no tips.
Yeah,
that is hilarious to me. Well, you look great for not working out.
It's obviously 100% genes.
Yeah.
Because I literally don't do anything. Yeah. So thank you, Mom and Dad, for that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Has there been people around you that has doubted your YouTube career but has later sucked up to you? You said you had a story. Because you giggled.
I did. I giggled a little bit. And I don't know if it's necessarily like sucked up to me, but I started social media in 2009 as just a blogger.
Oh, like I used to have a blog as well.
Yeah. I blogged about, I did book reviews, which I still do now, beauty reviews, like fitness reviews, like Jillian Michaels 30-day shred, like all of these things. And then I started Instagram and YouTube, and I just had so many people like around me in real life that were like, what are you doing? Why are you posting pictures of yourself on the internet? Like, that's so weird. That's never gonna go anywhere. Like, I had a lot of people in my early career that very much doubted it. And now some of those same friends are like I'll never forget, I had a friend come over to a house, this was years ago. He came over to the house to drop something off like mid-afternoon, and I was sitting on the couch. I had my laptop in my lap, but I was watching the Cubs game, and he was like, oh, I wish I could be like you and just make my own schedule and get to watch the baseball game in the middle of the day. And I was like, do you remember like when you made fun of me all of those times? Or like, because when I started, I was like 19, 20. And my friends would be like, we need to go out, and like then we're all turning 21 and like let's party, and I'm like, I can't. I'm working 3 jobs plus have a blog plus I'm writing a book. Like I can't. My friends would be like, why are you doing that? And I'm like, remember all those times I didn't go party with you because I was working to make something of this? I think a lot of times people don't always see like all of the hard work that's come into it. Like
I will say that I have like relatives or like friends that are not into this that will be like, oh, you're so lucky. I'm like,
yes, I get that a lot too.
I don't know if
like,
luck, so like I really have worked really hard. Not because I was like, oh, I'm gonna make this work. For me it wasn't that. I really loved it, but then I realized when Ricardo was like, we're moving abroad, I was like, oh, I do need to make this work, otherwise I won't be able to help with rent. And at that point this wasn't a full-time job for me. Like that wasn't a full-time income. When he told me that, I was like, ooh, I'm gonna have to put in a higher gear because otherwise I'll be dependent on him. And I hate being dependent on someone. I need to be able to take care of myself. So there's definitely been people that said that I'm lucky.
Yeah, and I think people forget you don't see the years of working for free, of everything that you have to self-teach,
saying no to everything.
Like working crazy hours. Like there's times I'm up till 2 o'clock in the morning either editing or packing orders for my business or something, and like not everyone sees all of that, and they just think like, oh, this is such an easy job and so cush and all these things, and you're like,
I mean, it's the most fun job I've ever had, but I wouldn't call it luck. Like my genetics, that's luck. My job, not so much.
Not so lucky.
Not so lucky. What are some common mistakes that some content creators make that you would like to tell others to avoid from doing, that like you see people do now, like newer ones?
Okay. Did you say you have some good ones? What were you going to say?
I would say stop looking at what other people are doing and what works for them, because you're going to have a really hard time making a successful thing out of doing stuff that's already been done. Because I feel like my best success with YouTube and with social media came from me just realizing that I just want to do my own thing. Because at that point, nobody was really, that I saw, was really doing colorful makeup and actually wearing it outside. They were just doing really colorful looks and then washing it off, or they were doing more basic looks, or not basic looks, but like neutral glam and stuff like that. And I felt like my success started with YouTube when I was like, but I like to do this kind of makeup. And I saw content creators at that point saying like, oh, nobody wants to go out in this, like why would you want to go out in that? Nobody wears blue eyeshadow. Why is there's like clown makeup out there? Like actual big YouTubers saying stuff like this. Like there was a pink palette and it didn't have a crease color according to this YouTuber. There was a light pink. She's like, who's doing pink crease color? And I was like, oh. I was like, oh, I am. So at that point I feel like what can you bring? Because I feel like I see a lot of people do stuff that was popular maybe 2 years ago, and they see like, oh, but this YouTuber, they got so many views on that video. Yeah, they got that many views on that video because they were already big. How are you gonna get there if you want to grow? So to put out, like we were talking about this the other day, if a big YouTuber that has 5 million subscribers put out a self-tanning routine, they're gonna get views on that. If you have 50 subscribers and you put that out, nobody's watching that. Nobody's gonna watch that. So you have to be like, how am I gonna find people that haven't already found me?
And maybe this isn't like so much in the beginning too, but having to be open to trying new things and to keep growing with the other, because social media changes so much. There's always new platforms that's popping up, and it's hard as a content creator to be like, okay, I am gonna download this app, and then that app fizzles out in 2 months, and you're like, damn, I like put effort into that, and then the app just like is gone. Like that happened recently with, I can't even remember what it was called, but everyone was like, this is like the new like you have to get over there. And sometimes it's like you want to be like one of the first to be doing that, but then that one doesn't go anywhere. But you also have to be willing to keep doing new things and keep trying and keep evolving, and it's a lot of, you have to put a lot into this.
And it's like back when we started YouTube, everybody wanted to see tutorials. Like people wanted to see you apply makeup. But I will say nowadays, the videos that do the best on my channel are the videos where I'm not applying makeup, where I'm just talking about makeup. And I know that's not what everyone wants to see, but like the types are changing. Like like you have to be like if I want to keep changing with the platform, and if I want to grow, you have to be okay sometimes to kill your darlings and be like, so this doesn't work out. And if you still love doing it, you should still do it, of course. And also, of course, maybe a tip would be like what you did in the beginning. You've been talking a lot about that you try to keep up with the Joneses and buy all the releases, even though, like, don't spend more money than you're making on YouTube. And if you're making zero on YouTube, try to think of how you can make content without spending money. Like, really try to do that, at least in the beginning, at least until you know that this could be something. Because it's not impossible to make money online. Maybe you won't make a full-time income, but it's not impossible to break even. Don't start out thinking, don't start out strong and spend a lot of money and you're thinking you have to spend money to start making money. This isn't an MLM. You're not joining an MLM.
You're not, no. You don't have to do that.
You don't have to pay to play, okay?
No,
like, so try to figure out ways that you can make good, interesting, innovative content that's not already out there, that you don't have to spend so much money on.
That was like another reason the Will I Buy It that I thought of it, because I was like, the most popular videos I see on YouTube right now are people showing the new makeup. And I was like, I can't keep going out and buying all of this. I can't keep going out and buying collections. I'm not on PR. How can I talk about new makeup without buying it? Will I buy it?
And it's so smart, because it's like, sometimes I'll have opinions about makeup and about releases and about the context that it is released in without having to, I can't tell you anything about the quality, but I can tell you about what I think about the release in itself. Let's not do that one. That's a little too juicy even for me. I mean, I'm not prude, but like,
Wowzers. Sweating now.
I had, is this the same one that you got? What color story would be a collab between you and Sam?
Kind of similar.
Because like, you got a similar comment to this, basically being like, what would it look like if you had one of those like BFF?
Yes, oh my god. With like the necklace that breaks. Oh my gosh. So do that. Brands hit us up.
And we were thinking about, first we were like, ooh, and then we were like, wait, this isn't impossible. Because I also got another comment saying like, do you have any overlaps in your collection? Our collections are so similar.
Very similar.
We have so many palettes and so many things in our collection that are alike. And it's not about that we love totally different things or that we love totally different brands. It's like our approach to makeup is different. And I don't see why we wouldn't be able to create something that we could both love. Because like, I don't hate neutrals and you don't hate colors. I do neutrals if I can have a contrast, like if it can go from really light to really dark. You'll do colors if you can mix it up with some neutrals. Like, I don't see how this would be impossible. It would be a challenge.
It would be a challenge. It would be a challenge, but I feel like we could do it.
I feel like we could do it. We have so many like overlapping things that we both love. We just use them differently.
I've seen other brands do like the Friends collabs. Hit us up. Hit us up, brands.
Will you watch Star Wars together? We should.
I just knew Star Wars would come up. I knew it.
Lucas, is that you?
Lucas?
I know Star Wars.
Where art thou?
Oh, Star Wars. Lucas, right?
I was so proud of myself because I was like, I'm nailing this. Like, I'm crushing it. And then people were like, Lucas I remember getting the first comment and someone was like, Lucas Skywalker laughing face. And I was like,
you're like, something's...
Is that not right? Like, and then I got another comment. I was like, I can't believe you said Lucas Skywalker. And I was like, I googled Lucas Skywalker. I was like, did I do that wrong?
And Google was like, shoot, Luke Skywalker.
Shoot. I was like, well, that's my bad. I was so confident too. Like, I was like, I got this.
I think a reason why a lot of people say, because I hear a lot about video games as well and about like Star Wars. Oh, I don't like Star Wars. Why? Oh, have you watched it? No, I don't like sci-fi. It's not sci-fi.
Oh, no.
It is a space opera.
Oh, a space opera. Sounds nice. Sounds nice.
It is an adventure, and it's not so much about space as it is about being on other planets. Have you watched Avatar? No. Not The Last Airbender, but like the movie with the blue people.
No. That's what I thought the Avatar collection was.
Okay. Well, yeah. I see that we have more movies we need to watch.
When I figured out that it was like all I saw Avatar, I was like, oh yes, that's a movie. And there's blue people, and that's all I remember. And so as I'm talking about it in the Will I Buy It, I'm like, yeah, and it's like this movie, and like, but I haven't seen it, but I know it was like really popular. And I remember getting the comment of someone's like, only Samantha March can mix up Avatar, the like Paramount movie or whatever it was to Avatar cartoon. They called it a cartoon show, which, so I said that and people got mad at me, but I was like, I was just reading the comment. I was like, oh, messed that one up. Crushed it. Yeah, I don't watch anything. I don't, like, when Angie came here last night, she was in the living room, she goes, oh, you don't have a TV. I was like, no, I have one in my bedroom. Yeah. And like, but it varies. Half the time I can't find the remote.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of TV either. I don't watch a lot of TV. If I get downtime, I'll play video games.
Yeah, and I'll watch sports.
Yeah,
like that's what I'll watch.
Yeah, which is my not my thing. Not my thing. Who has more clothes? I have been in her closet, unfortunately, and I've also been.
It's a lot.
I went in and I'm
it's
like,
a lot.
I'm just gonna close this door for a bit.
I like tried to make sure everything else was like somewhat like clean and like ish declutter free, but then like everything went in my closet. I was like, there it goes. And then yeah, I left the door open. Andrew was like, oh, is this your closet? I was like, sure is. Yeah. Even my mom loves to clean, like whenever she visits me.
Anxiety.
Yes. My mom will like clean my whole apartment. She'll be like, I'll leave the closet alone. I'm like, thanks. I could really use your help though, Mom.
And I told her, I'm like, I thought that my closet was a little cluttered. I'm gonna send you a picture of it. Because I have a lot of clothes. I have a lot of clothes, like comparing to a lot of people, I guess. But I will say that I did get rid of a lot of things. And now that I buy stuff, I'm really trying to be like fewer but nicer things. Fewer but nicer things. Fewer but nicer things. I'm trying to be like better at that.
Yeah, makes sense.
But I do think that you have more clothes than me.
Yeah.
I also never leave my apartment, so.
It's fun living in Vegas because I always, like everything, you could just, it doesn't matter where you go. You could run to the grocery store and just be like in a full-on dress and like no one cares. No one's like, that's weird.
I'm like, if people
cool.
care.
Oh, in Iowa, people would literally like stop and I like it in Vegas so much more.
Will Samantha be going to Texas now that Angie has visited Las Vegas? I mean, obviously.
I will. I love traveling. I love seeing different places. I would definitely go. I've never been to Austin. My family was stationed in El Paso.
Me neither.
Never heard of it. My family was stationed in El Paso, so I've been there quite a bit. And like Dallas, but I've never been to Austin. I would still go. I want to meet the dog. The dogs.
The doggo. And the kitties.
Doggo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can film in my space.
Yeah. I think that'd be fun.
Is it hard to find true friends in the beauty YouTube community? Yes and no. I think we both have had experiences with people that maybe weren't so interested in us as people as much in what they thought we could do for them.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
Or like people that like for me, I've heard people like say stuff about me behind my back.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. And it's like, why?
Yeah.
Or people like saying backhanded comments about me on like social media, and I'm like you have me on like Instagram.
Yeah.
We're talking Instagram. We're even friends like on Facebook. Like, why wouldn't you just text me?
Yeah. Right.
So that's just weird, and I don't know. It can be hard, but I also met like some of my best friends.
Yeah.
On
that you talked to. Like I'll say when I was going through divorce and like my other struggles, it was these friends that I was turning to. Like not even my friends like in real life. Like I was talking to you every day on Marco Polo, and like Michelle and Risa and Stephanie and Karen and Heather and Linda and Jenna, like Ashley, like those are the people that I was turning to, because it, like I feel we do, not that it's not really all that different anymore. Again, I'm coming as someone who's been doing this for a long time, but it's such like a different type of career, and it's different to put yourself out there also in a non-celebrity way. Celebrities are still kind of hidden from actual real life, where like we put our real lives out there, and it's such a hard thing to do, and not everyone can understand it. So like your friends that you make in this space get it on a deeper level of when you talk about personal things, or you're going through personal things that you're not talking about yet. But it's hard. And the hard thing too is like not everyone's going to be friends. Not everyone's going to click with each other, and that doesn't make anyone a bad person.
And
like there's people that I know in this space that it's like, but we're not close in that way, and that's okay.
And that's
like,
totally fine.
There's nothing wrong with that. But when you do find the people that you click with, it's pretty special.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So it can be hard, but like it's definitely not impossible. It's about like just trying to be genuine and like interested yourself, because I do feel like I have gotten to like not meet, but like internet meet some people that I realized that all they want to talk about is their like how they can like how to better their career, or like how to, and that's also fun, but like I also want to talk about other stuff.
It's fun to like help each other out, or like bounce ideas, questions, anything off of each other, but then you also like you need to be able to talk about other things.
Like this one, do you and other creators talk between yourselves about who to avoid and brands that and pay rates?
Oh yeah,
a lot. Like a lot.
I've had people send me contracts that they get from brands to say like, does this look right? Does this, do you think, would you sign this? Like, what would you, and it's,
and like this brand reached out to me, I know that you've talked to them, or like this brand reached out to me, and I'm like, no, do not under any circumstances. And it's because I don't know, it's like the beauty industry might seem like really big, but in some ways it's also very small. And sometimes I don't know if like brands realize how much we really do talk to each other. And we know like I put on Twitter the other day, like basically saying that I saw a brand that reached out to me and wanted me to do 2 dedicated Instagram posts about them sending me 1 old product. And I was basically like, that's not how social media works, sorry. And now I see so many people posting gifted product from this brand, and I put that on my Twitter, and I had a lot of creators reach out to me, and they're like, is it this brand? And they were all correct, because we all talk.
We do talk,
so it just becomes a little bit embarrassing when it's like so obvious that this one brand has been trying to get so many of my friends or fellow co-workers to work for free, because it's like, ooh, yikes. Well, that's on them.
True that.
If you had to restart your channel over from 0 today, what would you do differently?
What would I do differently? I would try to bring like what I wanted to do right away. Like, and when I started my channel, I started with books, and then I moved over to beauty, and I don't necessarily mean in that sense, but when I started as beauty, I was doing the tutorials and the challenges and just things that I like wasn't really me. And then I finally was like, I want to be a chatty channel, and I changed it to that, did a lot of tags, like that sort of thing. I would have done that right away.
I think for me, I would have been a little bit more quality over quantity in the beginning, because I feel like, I need to get a lot of videos out, and some of it just didn't make sense. I'm trying to be a bit more, but also like I had a full-time job then, and still I was managed to get a lot of videos up. So I think that I would probably be a little bit more selective with what I uploaded if I did it again today. I think just because like sometimes being consistent is good, but consistency in itself isn't the key to success on YouTube.
That was a good question.
We just looked at the weather report for the place that we're going next week. 5 degrees Celsius and snow mixed with rain. What's the return policy on this weather report?
40 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm like, what are we gonna do? I genuinely don't know what to pack.
Well, I mean, I'm from Sweden. I do have things to pack, but I think you got rid of most of your stuff.
Oh yeah,
I saved a couple, stuff. But
I have like some light jackets.
That's intense.
So a few people on my Instagram asked for you, why the US and why Texas and not another state?
I did not pick Texas. This would not have been in my top 50 choices of places to live. My husband is in academia. He is doing his PhD in Austin, and he got headhunted actually for this position. We were hoping to stay within Europe. I was actually really crossing my fingers for France.
So was I.
But I mean, I really do like Austin. The only reason we moved is because of my husband. And academia is like, you don't really get to choose your workspaces. If you're in a specific field, he's in a very specific field. Like, there are not that many places that you can go to. And the place, like the group that he's with, is a very well-respected group. So this is a very good position for him career-wise. But like I'm liking it now. I'm trying to see it positively. I'm gonna enjoy it while I'm here. I'm gonna take the good with the bad, and I'm just gonna try to make the best of the situation. We haven't moved here for good. Yeah, we are planning to be here for 4 to 5 years. Yeah, so yeah, not my first choice, but I'm trying to make the best of it, and I am quite enjoying Austin from what I've seen so far. Yeah, the weather's lovely.
Good. That's good. Better than Sweden.
Better than Sweden.
Better than Sweden. Someone else asked what were our first thoughts of each other. And I don't know if they mean like when we first met the first time.
Oh.
Because that would have been in New York. And my first thought of Angie. So I was doing a meetup in Bryant Park, I think it was, with...
And me and Karen Harris hijacked.
Yes. And it was me, Kelly Gooch, Makeup Molly, and Ashley Clady. And so we're doing this like meetup, and all of a sudden I hear, Samantha! And I look over and here's Angie running through the park in like leather pants, heels, just running towards me. And I was like, this is the absolute best. Like, just because we had talked for that was in 2019, right? Yeah, 2019. And so we'd already been talking for 3 years at this point, and you know, almost conversing daily, and just to be able to meet in person was like such a fun, special moment. I just remember Angie running through the park. It was so awesome.
I will say my first impression of you is something that I've thought more about lately, and I feel like you have changed your personality after you moved here. I feel like you are more now the way you are in real life. Yeah. And I feel like that isn't like my first impression was probably like, oh, she's even more outgoing and bubbly and lively and like even more like that in real life. But I feel like now you are on YouTube too, so I feel like your true personality has really come through like this past year. Yeah, so that is like my first impression, but also me like revisiting that like first impression like later on.
Yeah, it's fun. It's like, it's kind of nice to get the comments of people saying like you seem more like yourself and things like that, and it's nice that it also like comes across on camera in that way, because I don't think it was something that I really was like trying to do, but I think when you're in situations and like things aren't going well, like it just is a different thing. Whereas now I don't have that anymore. I kind of feel like I shed like, you know, a little bit, and I can just be myself again. So
which is a good thing.
Scrub off my self tan and feel like myself again. Let's see.
Do you have any juicy ones? Should we end with a juicy one? Do we have any juicy
ones? Someone said, what was the first common thing apart from makeup to bond you?
You were talking about like I was talking about that I had a blog before, because I used to have a blog as well. I just feel like our energy is pretty similar. Like we can joke about the same things, and we have a pretty similar like energy. Like it's so, it's so easy to get along with you because we have such a similar like personality. Yeah, I feel. I don't know, like would we have a lot of common interests outside of makeup? I don't know that, but it still works. Like, you don't play computer games, you don't watch movies, I don't like sports, but like it doesn't matter. Yeah, really.
I like that you said that about like that, like the energy, like, and it's just, we just have so much fun. It's like, and sometimes people
that I can make fun of you and you can make fun of me and we can laugh about it.
Yeah, we laugh about it.
Because I make fun of myself all the time and I laugh about it, and I can get uncomfortable with people when I notice that it's not the same. And we are definitely that. Like we laugh about ourselves.
Well, do you remember the first collab? Was it our first collab that we did where we chose eyeshadows for each other?
I don't know, but
that's so much fun. And I gave you like a beige, and you were like, what am I supposed to do with this? And I was laughing hysterically about it. But it's like, I've seen some comments like, I can't believe you and Angie get along because like you're different, like you have different makeup styles, and it's like, what does that mean? That doesn't mean we can't be friends.
My best friend that like I've known for way before YouTube, like we've been best friends for so long, like she is a literal goth kid with shaved head. Like we are nothing alike. But at the same time we're so alike. And that has nothing
like
to do
the makeup
with it.
really doesn't have any, I don't know, it just, to me it doesn't have anything to do with it. Like, and even having people having different opinions, because like we have different opinions on other things too outside of makeup, and
as long as it's not like the big ones,
right, the ones that you really can't like see eye to eye on.
This is Samantha trying to find her thread because the camera battery
me trying to remember the battery died and it just shut right off. We were like, oh, okay. We've been filming for a while. But I think I was just saying, like, to me it doesn't, or I was saying that you have like brands that you really love that like I don't really like. I have brands that you, and it's like, okay, like that's fine.
Like it's a difference in opinions that doesn't bother me. It's the difference in like perception of reality. That's where I'm like, okay,
yeah,
that's a no.
yeah, makes sense. Yeah, and so
I don't see why that would be anything at all.
Yeah,
let's do the last one.
Okay,
and then we need lunch.
I know, I'm so hungry. So hungry. Do you want to do the Natasha question that came in?
Oh yeah, let's do that one because it was so interesting.
You both love Natasha Denona. What is your top lippy and palette from Natasha Denona?
And this was so funny because I was like, I would say Noah, the lipstick.
And that's the lipstick I have that I love. It's in the white case.
Such a good color. Like it's such a good neutral brown, but still has a bit of a neutral pink. It's so nice. Like Noah is amazing. And then I was thinking, because I really do love the Metropolis, but it's discontinued. So I said retro, and she was like,
that's my favorite. I was like, what, really?
And this
I did not think you were gonna say retro.
And I feel like this is the whole thing about like difference in makeup aesthetics doesn't mean that a difference in favorite products.
Yeah,
it's just that we approach the products in different ways.
Yeah, I love the love was my favorite for a long time.
I really like the love too.
And then the retro surpassed it for me.
I think what I really love about the retro is that it goes from so light to so dark, both in shimmers and mattes, and it has a really good variety between the creamy mattes, like the cream powder, and the mattes. And for me, like, I just really love that I can go neutral with that palette in the way that I like neutrals, or I can go colorful with that palette because I love berry shadows. And it's also, I love a berry crease with another color on the lid. Like that one is the perfect palette to like dig into my like multi-chromes or like super shadows, like the super special shadows from like indie brands.
Yeah,
I would love like a berry crease, and that's also why I really love the Or Kid You Not from like Colourpop for the exact same reason. It's such a nice, a berry crease goes with almost any kind of color on the lid. Yeah, if you don't want to do like brown. Yeah, so yeah, I just feel like berry is such an easy color, and I love the color.
I do too. I think it's phenomenal. And like I love the Natasha mini palettes too. Like the mini nude, I have major pan in, like mini glam.
I watched your mini nude when I was going through a collection, and I'm like, this palette is warm. That palette looks like it needs an intervention and like a sip of water and just a timeout.
That's what I brought with me on my Napa trip. Like that's what I wore on my eyes. I was like, I just want to bring like, you know, I was trying to pack a pretty small makeup bag, and I was like, I just want to bring one of my favorites. And I was like, oh yeah, the mini nude will like fit right in. But the retro, like I just love the color scheme in there, that it's like romantic, but there's also these like jewel tones in it without being totally too dark, because sometimes too dark kind of like freaks me out at the same time. Like it's just such a good balance, and the quality like is fantastic. So
I really like that.
I did not think we were gonna have the same. I did not think that. That's so funny. We're so alike. We have so much in common. So much in common.
Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. This is going to be an absolute beast to edit. So if you want to show some appreciation by liking this video for me editing this video, please do leave a like down below. And also I will of course link both Samantha, and I will link the video where I did Samantha's makeup down below.
So fun.
If you want to have a peek. And now we are heading for lunch.
Yes, I need food so badly.
I need food and a Coke. Like
yes, ASAP.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you again tomorrow for the video. Bye.